Another Game 6 NBA tonight, this time Knicks traveling to Philly, 3-2 series lead. Sixers attempted to do something they've never done. Philly 0-17 all-time in series in which they've trailed 3-1. That's the worst record of any franchise in NBA history. And while the Knicks obviously would love to have taken Game 5 at the Garden, consider this, each of New York's last 4 series-clinching playoff wins have come on the road. And that hasn't been the issue for the Knicks and their fans. They flooded Wells Fargo Center for games 3 and 4. Now Sixers owner and former minority owner Michael Rubin, they are buying tickets to try and block New York fans. Tim Bontemps, maybe it would just be easy for Sixers fans to buy these tickets to begin with, but what more can you tell us about this strategy by Sixers ownership and the expected atmosphere tonight?
Well, as you said, Matt, Sixers ownership bought a couple thousand tickets, going to give them out to first responders and others to have them be at the game and obviously cheer for the 76ers. But that isn't going to stop Knicks fans from paying way over market price to buy tickets on the secondary market and be in the building tonight for what will obviously be a raucous atmosphere for all the reasons you mentioned. The Sixers trying to keep this season alive after that incredible comeback in Game 5, and the Knicks trying to close the series out and advance in the playoffs for 2 years in a row for the first time since 2000. So obviously a ton on the line tonight. And honestly, I think the bigger issue than the Sixers ownership buying tickets is the fact that the game is starting so late. Because it's at 9 o'clock, the last Amtrak out of here is someone who lives in New York and knows the train schedule. It's only a few minutes after 12. Going to be hard for people to stay until the end and get on the train. No, it's an easy trip up and down I-95, but it'll be interesting to see the combination of these ownership buying the tickets and the late start blunts a little bit of what, as you mentioned, was a crazy atmosphere in favor of the Knicks over the first couple games here in this series.
Only in this series could a train schedule be a factor in such a pivotal game. Hey, what are people saying about the key for tonight's Game 6?
Well, Matt, this series has come down to one thing. Despite all the craziness, all the wild performances, the huge games from the stars, the main thing that has determined these games has been offensive rebounding. The Knicks won games 1 and 4 by dominating the offensive glass. And even in the wild comeback they had at the end of Game 2 at the Garden, they won that game because they got 2 key offensive rebounds inside the final 30 seconds that set up that Dante DiVincenzo game winner. And in the 2 games in this series that the Sixers won, they were able to control the glass and actually out-rebounded the Knicks in that area. So going into this game tonight, obviously it's going to be key to see how Joel Embiid is feeling. Is he going to be able to keep his energy up throughout the second half? That's been an issue in each of the past 2 games. And can the Sixers keep the Knicks off the offensive glass? If they can, they'll feel good about their chances of pushing this to a Game 7 Saturday. And if they can't, the Knicks very well might claim another road victory to close out a playoff series.
Some classics in this series. Cannot wait to see what Game 6 holds. Tim Bontemps with the latest. No train for Tim. He's there start to finish until we put him on TV tomorrow morning. Thank you, Tim.
Happy to have the 3-time NBA champ, Udonis Haslem, in studio helping us break down the NBA playoffs. The Sixers trying to continue their momentum. It's hard to figure this series, the swings back and forth, but they have a game tonight just to draw even and force a Game 7 back in New York. Give me, Udonis, your keys to what happens tonight.
I mean, my keys are going to be the Embiid and Maxey effect. I think that's one of the more tougher pick and rolls to guard in the league, second to Joker and Murray. I think that 2-man game is an amazing 2-man game. You really can't stop it. You can hope to contain it. And there's 2,000 tickets out there going around in the streets of Philly, so I know the building is going to be amazing. The crowd and the energy is going to be great. But look at these plays here. I mean, moving the ball and just playing the game of basketball. But those 2 guys down the stretch are going to be the deciding factor. You eliminate the offensive rebounds in the possession game, and then you go to your stars and you let them finish it for you.
When you watch Embiid, what comes to mind in the last couple games you've seen him?
I mean, just being dominant, and he's not being dominant on the perimeter. He's getting down in the paint. He's being physical. He's not foul hunting. He's actually going through the contact and finishing at the rim. So I love the way he's playing the game of basketball. And Tyrese Maxey, he's stepping his game up. He's doing whatever he has to do to get his team in position to win basketball games. And also understanding what Jalen Brunson does offensively. It's a little bit more difficult when you got to come down on the other end and guard a guy that's just as active and just as mobile and can score just as well as you.
Yeah. Okay. We got another Game 6 tonight. Bucks and Pacers. We've been talking a lot about this. Giannis doubtful, Lillard questionable. What chance do you give Milwaukee in this one?
I give them a great chance, with or without Giannis. I understand that in a playoff game, in a situation where you got your 2 best players out and you don't win that game, that gives the other team confidence, that breathes life into the other team, and now you get a chance where you could possibly get your starters back. So I'm looking at Milwaukee, and I'm saying they got a chance to go in and win this game, and not only go in and win this game, but to continue to move forward as more they get healthy.
Okay, so we got a chance to talk a little bit before the show, and you like the Bucks if they get there to beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference
I
Finals?
like the Bucks if they're healthy.
Okay, if they're healthy.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I just like the matchups. I think when you play the Celtics, I think anything you can do to kind of eliminate the Porzingis effect, where the switchable matchups, if you could switch that and eliminate that particular trigger, then you take them out of something that they want to do that they have a huge advantage at. Now you eliminate that and you make them play isolation basketball. Isolation basketball takes away the three-point line. We all know how great Boston is at shooting a three and doing the things they do with the game of basketball with the three-point line and just creating space with those guys. So I think if you can eliminate the three-point line, you switch that matchup, then you have a chance to play isolation basketball. You have a better chance of winning.
By the way, they split the season series in 4 games. Each home team won 2 at their place. So that's that. All right, you spent 20 years as a player with the Miami Heat. A remarkable achievement. It just doesn't happen anymore. Now you're the VP of basketball development.
Yes.
Obviously, you guys were not healthy against a really good Celtics team. You got bounced first round. What's the #1 priority this offseason?
Well, we don't use health as an excuse. We weren't healthy, but so the #1 priority is to get healthy. And secondly, I think we got to go out and we got to figure out how to bring in another bigger guy. I think Bam's done great at the center, but I think if we can get him to the 4, that gives him even more freedom, even more of an opportunity to take advantage of his size, his strength, his athleticism, and then maybe go for another perimeter scorer. I don't know if Terry Rozier is going to be healthy, so if he's healthy, he could be that guy, but we didn't have him. But if we get another perimeter scorer and a 5-man, we can move Bam to that 4. Just gives a lot of versatility and a lot of different things we can do.